Who are you if you already won millions? Who are you, but not who you think you are based on your current circumstances? Not who your bank account says you are. Not who your struggles have convinced you that you are. Who are you if you already won millions? How do you stand when abundance is your natural state? How do you walk when every step is taken with the confidence of someone who knows they are financially free? What thoughts run through your mind as you wake in the morning, knowing that wealth flows endlessly to you, like a river that never runs dry? Feel into this for a moment. Don't think about it. Feel it. You see, here's the secret that will transform your entire existence. You must not wait for evidence before you believe. The evidence appears only when you first accept your wealth as real. This isn't just positive thinking. This is the fundamental law of creation itself. Wealth is not merely numbers dancing in your bank account. It's not just the accumulation of paper and coins. Wealth is a state of being, a way of existing in the world. And the moment you step into that state completely, the entire universe bends to reflect it back to you. Consider for a moment, really contemplate this, how someone who already won millions moves through life. Do they worry about whether they'll have enough? Do they doubt their ability to handle any financial situation? Do they wake up with that familiar knot of anxiety in their stomach? No, they expect, they receive. They carry themselves with an unshakable confidence, because they know, deep in their bones, that they are rich. Not because they hope to be rich. Not because they're working toward being rich. Because they are rich. It's not a goal, it's their identity. Think about the last time you heard someone talk about winning the lottery. Notice how their entire energy shifts just imagining it. Their shoulders straighten. Their voice becomes more confident. Their eyes light up with possibility. That's the energy you must carry every single day. If you wish to manifest millions, you must first feel like you've already won them. Not tomorrow when the check comes. Not next week when the opportunity appears. Not when circumstances finally align in your favor. Now, in this very moment, you must assume the feeling of one who already has everything they desire. Close your eyes and feel what it's like to be completely financially free right now. Feel the peace. Feel the confidence. Feel the joy. This is not fantasy. This is not wishful thinking. This is the exact state of being that creates your reality. When you move through your day, carry yourself with the quiet confidence of a millionaire, not with arrogance, because that's the desperate energy of someone trying to convince others of what they don't truly believe themselves. True confidence is quiet, assured, unshakable. When you look at a price tag, do not shrink in hesitation. Do not let that familiar fear grip your chest. Instead, mentally affirm with complete conviction, I can afford anything I desire. But here's what's crucial. Even if your outer world has not yet changed, even if your bank account still shows the same numbers, your inner shift will demand a reflection. Your only task is to remain faithful to this assumption. The moment you assume the state of having won millions, unseen forces begin working on your behalf. Forces you cannot see, understand, or control. These forces are more powerful than any strategy, more effective than any plan, more reliable than any system. Imagine for a moment that you just received the call, the life-changing call. You've won. The money is yours. How would you feel in that moment? That rush of excitement, that overwhelming sense of relief, that deep knowing that everything has changed forever. That feeling is what you must carry with you every single day. The people you need to meet will cross your path. The opportunities that will change everything will present themselves. The events necessary for your wealth's fulfillment will be drawn to you as effortlessly as the tide is drawn to the shore. But here's the test, and this is where most people fail. You must persist even when doubt whispers its poison. Doubt will come. It will say to you, this isn't working. Look around you, nothing has changed. You're fooling yourself. People don't just win millions out of nowhere. Circumstances may seem to mock your assumption. Bills may still arrive. Challenges may still appear. The outer world may seem to scream, you're not wealthy. Look at your reality. But you must remember that the outer world is merely a delayed mirror, reflecting your past assumptions, your old beliefs, your former state of being. It's showing you who you were, not who you are becoming. Think of it this way. If you were watching a movie and didn't like what was happening on screen, would you try to change the screen, or would you change the projector? Your thoughts, your feelings, your assumptions, these are the projector. The world around you is just the screen. Keep your new assumption alive. Feed it with feeling. Strengthen it with certainty. Protect it from doubt like a mother protecting her child. And soon, sooner than you think, the evidence will appear before your very eyes. And when it does, you'll realize something profound. You are not trying to become wealthy. You are wealthy. You are not waiting to receive millions. You have millions. It is already done. Live as though it were impossible to fail. Because there is a truth so simple, yet so profound, that once you truly understand it, it will change the way you move through life forever. Your world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner state. Everything you see, everything you touch, everything you experience first began as an idea within the mind. The unseen gives birth to the seen. The intangible shapes the tangible. And what you assume to be true, whether consciously or unconsciously, becomes the foundation upon which your entire life is built. Look around you right now. Really look. The circumstances that surround you, the people in your life, the opportunities that come or elude you, the wealth or lack thereof, all are manifestations of your inner world. They are the crystallized results of thoughts you have entertained, feelings you have nurtured, and beliefs you have accepted as reality. And your emotions are not mere reactions to the world around you. They are the creative force that shapes your reality. Every moment, you are vibrating at a particular frequency, and life responds to that frequency by bringing you experiences that match it. This is why two people in identical situations can have completely different outcomes. One person radiates confidence and abundance, while the other emanates fear and lack. Their external worlds reflect their internal states. If you feel lack, you create more of it. If you feel abundance, you call abundance to you. It is that simple, and it is that profound. Your emotions do not lie. They reveal the assumptions you hold about life. When you feel anxious about money, it's because you assume money is scarce. When you feel worried about the future, it's because you assume you're not capable of handling whatever comes. But if you could shift your emotional state, if you could generate the feeling of already having won millions, you would see how effortlessly life rearranges itself to match your new vibration. Most people live reactively. They let the outer world dictate how they feel. If they see money in their bank account, they feel secure. If they receive good news, they feel optimistic. If an opportunity presents itself, they feel hopeful. But this is backwards. You must feel first, and then the outer world will adjust accordingly. Imagine waking up every morning feeling like you've already won millions, regardless of what your financial situation appears to be. You walk through your day with a quiet confidence, knowing that all your needs are met. You do not panic over expenses. You do not hesitate when making choices. You do not entertain thoughts of scarcity. Your emotional state is one of certainty, of ease, of absolute trust, that abundance is already yours. If you could maintain this feeling consistently, your external world would have no choice but to reflect it back to you. The key is to train yourself to feel ahead of the evidence. Do not wait for circumstances to change before you allow yourself to feel joy, success, and security. Feel them now. Act as if you have already won, and the winning will follow. One of the greatest obstacles to winning millions is the tendency to obsess over when and how it will happen. The logical mind seeks certainty, needing to know every step, every detail, every possible route from here to fulfillment. But this fixation on the how and when only creates resistance. It keeps you trapped in a state of doubt and limitation. When you try to control the process, you signal to the universe that you do not truly trust in the power of your assumption. And what you do not trust, you push away. The unseen forces that shape reality do not operate by human logic. They do not require your interference or your management. They are far more intelligent, far more capable, far more creative than your limited mind can comprehend. Consider a farmer who plants a seed in the earth. He does not sit beside it, digging it up every hour to check its progress. He does not demand to know exactly how each root will form, how each leaf will sprout, or how the rain and sun will work together to bring it to fruition. He simply trusts that, in due time, the seed will become what it was always meant to be. This is the attitude you must adopt. You have planted the seed of your desire in the soil of imagination. If you constantly question how it will grow, you disrupt the natural process. But if you leave it undisturbed, nourishing it only with faith and persistence, it must manifest. Your only task is to persist in the assumption that what you desire is already yours. Everything else is irrelevant. Think of someone who has already won millions. Do they concern themselves with how it happened? Do they anxiously try to piece together the events that led to their windfall? No, they simply enjoy it. They live in the reality of having, not questioning or doubting its presence. This is the state you must embody before the evidence arrives. You do not need to know how your millions will come. You do not need to map out the exact sequence of events that will lead you to your goal. Release the need to control. Let go of the constant questioning. Move with the quiet confidence of one who knows that their success is inevitable. If you wish to manifest millions, you must align every word you speak and every action you take with the reality of one who already possesses them. Most people speak from their current circumstances rather than from the state they wish to embody. They say things like, "I can't afford that. Money is so hard to come by," or "I'm always struggling." Every time they affirm these beliefs, they reinforce their current financial reality. The universe simply mirrors what they declare as truth. Your words carry creative power. They are declarations of what you accept as real. Instead of saying, "I can't afford it," say, "That's not a priority for me right now." Instead of saying, "I'm broke," say, "Wealth is flowing to me in ways I cannot yet see." Instead of saying, "Money is tight," say, "I am grateful for the abundance that surrounds me." You must speak as though your millions are already yours. But words alone are not enough. Your actions must reflect your new state as well. How does someone who won millions move through life? Do they hesitate over small purchases? Do they feel anxious about spending money? Do they approach opportunities with fear and doubt? No, they carry themselves with confidence. They invest in themselves without hesitation. They trust that their resources will always replenish. This does not mean reckless spending. It means adopting the mindset of financial security before the evidence arrives. It means treating money as an abundant, ever-flowing resource, rather than something scarce and fleeting. The way you carry yourself also speaks volumes. Do you walk with the posture of one who is weighed down by financial stress? Or do you move with the ease and confidence of a person who knows they've already won? Do you dress and present yourself with care? Or do you let your outer appearance reflect a belief in lack? Every detail matters, because every detail reinforces an assumption. Each day, ask yourself, would someone who won millions say this? Would they act this way? Would they hesitate in this moment? And then adjust accordingly. The greatest test of your ability to manifest millions is your persistence in the face of doubt. It is easy to believe when everything appears to be working in your favor, when signs seem to affirm that your assumption is taking shape. But what will you do when the physical world shows no evidence of change? What will you do when old fears and doubts creep in, whispering that perhaps this is not working, that maybe you are fooling yourself? This is where most people fail. Not because their desires are impossible, but because they waver in their faith before the unseen becomes seen. The moment you assume a new state of being, reality begins shifting. But because physical manifestation follows an unseen process, there is often a delay between assumption and realization. This delay is not a sign of failure. It is simply the natural unfolding of events. Most people misinterpret this period of transition as proof that their efforts are in vain. In their impatience, they return to old thoughts, old doubts, and old emotional reactions, undoing the very progress they had made. You must be different. You must persist until it is done. There can be no half-hearted attempts, no wavering back and forth between belief and disbelief. If you have chosen the state of having won millions, then that is the state you must occupy mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, no matter what appears before you. When doubts arise, as they inevitably will, Do not resist them with fear. Instead, observe them with detachment, knowing they are remnants of an old state that no longer belongs to you. Let them pass through your awareness without giving them power. Affirm to yourself, this is already done. My millions are inevitable. The world is simply catching up to my assumption. Consider a sculptor who is committed to carving a masterpiece from a block of stone. He does not stop midway simply because he cannot yet see the final form. He does not abandon his work because in the beginning it looks nothing like the vision he holds in his mind. He persists, chiseling away, refining his creation until the masterpiece emerges. This is how you must treat your assumption. You must hold on to it, unwavering, until it hardens into fact. There is a profound difference between wishing to win millions and living as if you already have. Wishing implies separation. It acknowledges the absence of what you desire. It keeps you in a state of wanting, of lacking, of being without. But to embody the state of having won, to live from the end, is to collapse the gap between you and your desire. It is to step into the feeling of fulfillment now, before the evidence appears, knowing with absolute certainty that the outer world must eventually conform. Most people spend their entire lives hoping, yearning, and waiting for their millions to materialize. They don't realize that this very state of longing keeps them trapped in lack like quicksand. They wake up thinking about what they do not have. They move through the day, reinforcing the idea that they are still waiting. They go to sleep feeling as though their desires are just beyond their reach. Always tomorrow, always just out of grasp. And so the cycle continues, year after year, decade after decade. But what if you no longer wished? What if instead you assumed the role of one who already won millions? How would you think if you had already won? How would you feel as you moved through your day? How would you carry yourself in the world? Would you still dwell in doubt about your financial security? Would you still fear the future? Would you still hesitate when opportunities presented themselves? No, you would move with a quiet confidence, with an unshakable knowing that everything you desire is already yours. This is the key to become what you seek before it physically appears, not through pretense, not through arrogance, but through the deep, quiet certainty that your assumption is reality. What you hold in consciousness, whether in fear or in faith, will harden into fact. The process is always at work, whether you realize it or not. You cannot stop it any more than you can stop your heart from beating. You cannot stop imagining, for imagination is the very essence of your being. But you can become aware of how you use this incredible power. Ask yourself honestly, are you imagining worst-case scenarios? Are you constantly affirming struggle and limitation? Are you replaying past disappointments in your mind like a broken record? If so, do not be surprised when these experiences continue to repeat themselves in your reality. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are the unconscious creator of it. To change your life, you must first change your assumption of what is possible. Begin by seeing yourself as already possessing that which you desire. Do not wait for proof. The proof will come after the assumption is made. The moment you let go of doubt and fully embrace the reality you seek, it will begin to unfold before you in ways you never expected. Your life is not determined by external circumstances. It is determined by the thoughts you consistently hold, the feelings you regularly entertain, the beliefs you accept as truth. So make a decision now. Will you allow temporary appearances to dictate your belief, or will you persist in the unseen until it becomes seen? Will you waver in moments of doubt, or will you stand firm in your conviction? The choice is yours, but know this. The universe does not deny what you persist in assuming is true. If you refuse to entertain any reality other than the one you desire, if you remain unwavering in your assumption, then the world must conform. There is no other possibility. So persist. Persist through the silence. Persist through the doubts. Persist through every appearance that tries to convince you otherwise. Because the moment you refuse to turn back, the moment you make the decision that you have already won millions, it is done. Everything you seek, wealth, success, abundance, already exists within you. Your imagination is the key, shaping your reality through your assumptions. By living from the end, feeling the emotions of already having won millions, and detaching from the when and how, you align yourself with the reality you wish to experience. Your words and actions must reflect this truth, reinforcing your belief until it becomes unshakable. And above all, you must persist, refusing to waver, refusing to return to the old self, until your assumption hardens into fact. The world is simply a reflection of your inner state. When you truly embody the wealth you seek, when you walk, speak, and move with the confidence of one who already won millions, the outer world must conform. There is no other outcome. So stand firm in your belief, stay faithful to your vision, and watch as the unseen forces arrange everything in your favor. Your millions are not a dream. They are not a hope. They are not a possibility. They are a certainty. The only question that remains is how quickly will you step into it completely. Take a deep breath. Feel the truth of these words settling into your bones. Feel the certainty that your abundance is inevitable. This is your moment. This is your time. Your millions are done. Act as if you already won millions, because you have.